Welcome to HCM TradeSeal. Let's talk about how to use HCM TradeSeal's functionality for calculating employer-paid fringe credit benefits and the way that they interact with prevailing wage cash in lieu. For those of you who want a more simple, high-level overview, there's a popular YouTube video called Prevailing Wage Savings Explained, where we cover fringe credits at a high level. This video is specifically about how to configure this functionality in HCM TradeSeal, so we'll go more in depth. Okay, let's take a look at our tutorial setup for HCM TradeSeal. What we've got for starters is a prevailing wage job called Project 123. We have prevailing wage rates and benefits for this, but we're missing employees. And furthermore, those employees are missing employer paid benefits. So let's take a look at the way we can set up employees with employer paid benefits in TradeSeal. What we'll do in this example, we'll use an upload because it's easier to illustrate than an API connection. And we'll take a look at a couple of example employees. The first employee demonstrates a concept which is probably the most popular way to calculate employer paid fringe benefits for prevailing wage, which is calculating them in arrears. So we'll look over, for example, a past year, apply one of several available calculation methods, and we'll arrive at an hourly amount that way. We've also got a second example employee who illustrates calculating the benefits real time. Both are fine. It depends on where your prevailing wage job is, what you've been advised to do by your legal counsel or prevailing wage fringe benefit advisor. That unfortunately is outside the scope of this video, but regardless of your calculation preferences, TradeSeal can make it simple and automatic. So given this example data, the first thing we'll want to do is upload the employees. After this upload, we'll expect to see two employees with calculations filled in. So we'll head over to the source upload screen. We'll choose employees. And when we're uploading this file, it's going to be important to choose the right file and also tell TradeSeal that we're including fringe credits in the upload. Okay, it looks like the upload was successful. Let's take a look at these employees in Data Manager. We'll see their name and their rate of pay, of course, but we'll also see a match for imported benefits. The first employee had their benefits calculated in arrears, and in great detail, TradeSeal has crunched this down into an hourly amount. It looks like it goes out to 6 decimal places, which is pretty common when you're doing a calculation over the period of a year. We've also got the real-time rules for our employee who's expected to calculate in current period payroll. And if you take a close look, you'll notice these are not exact amounts to be paid per hour. They're formulas. So the first one, we're going to take 2.5% of their gross pay. The second one, 185 an hour. So again, if we're doing this in arrears or looking into the past, we're using past data and arriving at an hourly amount. Sometimes this amount will vary depending on the actual amount that they work during a week. Depends on the calculation method. And then for real time, we're using a formula that'll be applied. So let's take a look at how this would work. Before we can see these calculations in action, we need to give our employees a few hours. So uh, most TradeSeal users would do this with a upload or an API import of hours, but in our example, we're just going to key in the time. So for Alan, let's give Alan a full work week, and we'll have them work on our prevailing wage job, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll also enter in Paige, and similarly, we'll give her a full work week on our prevailing wage job. And what we're anxious to see is how the employer paid fringe credits are applied. So regardless of the calculation method, we can see that the employees both had calculations applied and both are owed a certain amount of cash fringe or cash in lieu. Let's take a look. So starting with the first employee, the total prevailing wage is $35 because in this example, the government wants to see $25.01 paid per hour plus $9.99 fringe benefit. But as an employer, we can say that $2.88 per hour and also $2.08 per hour were paid in employer paid benefits. So we can subtract those from the $9.99 and instead pay $5.03 per hour. That saves money and covered in our overview video. This saves employers money by reducing the amount of tax they need to pay and also can reduce overpayment to employees. Looking at the second employee, we're using a real-time calculation. The 401k fringe credit in this case was calculated as a percent of gross pay, and the medical fringe credit is paid at $1.85 an hour. TradeSeal turns this all into hourly amounts so we can demonstrate why the employee is paid $7.51 cash in lieu. And for advanced TradeSeal users, you'll notice a color scheme. The cooler colors, yellow, green, and blue, are typically used for a lower amount of cash in lieu, implying that you're saving money. The warmer colors like orange and red mean that you're paying more of the prevailing wage fringe as cash in lieu or a payroll earning, and unfortunately, employers are taxed on this. So that's an overview of how to configure the employees. Let's review. So we had a few components. One was the employee data itself. We did provide an example upload, which had a few different fringe credit, employer paid fringe credits in the data. We're able to see this in Data Manager by hovering over the imported benefits match. Also, in order to calculate these against the prevailing wages, we do need to have prevailing wage rules in the system. Don't forget to set up your wage rate. And also, of course, don't forget to set up your prevailing wage fringe benefit with the calculation method PW fringe. Put it all together and you're going to see those fringe credits applied, which will reduce or perhaps even eliminate the amount that you have to pay as cash in lieu or a payroll earning. And that can save employers a lot of money and, of course, keep you in compliance with prevailing wage. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.